Jimmy.
Should I get the video first? We're off in the truck again. What do we know? As usual, it started as a video. Earth likes waking me up at 6 in the morning with a video of some sort of seven. Okay, 7 today, with some sort of dog in an emergency. This one looks really bad. It's been hit by a truck. It looks like a very big dog. You can hear him screaming in pain in the video.
Jimmy. Yeah.
It's a Thai woman who sent it to us in an absolute panic. It's an emergency, it's her dog. Unfortunately, it's on the other side of the island, so it's about a 30-minute drive, and we're going to try and we don't know what we're walking into, but when the dog is this bad, it could bite us. It could be aggressive because it just looks like it's in so much pain. So we've got towels with us, we've got muzzles, we've got a box, we've got food, but we're driving down here. Didn't have time for coffee, that's the biggest problem. We're still half asleep, so we're hopeful that we can do something for this dog, but let's see. Looks like it's in a lot of pain.
Okay. ถึงแล้วนะครับ We arrived. พี่ครับจอดตรงไหนครับ อ๋อ he's here. Okay.
So you can see Jimmy. His name Jimmy?
Jimmy, yes.
Jimmy, so he's a lovely pet, but he's been hit by a truck. The van, yeah. So the van didn't stop. So Jimmy's obviously in an awful lot of pain, and he's been sitting here since 5 a.m. apparently. So the woman's very upset, but we're going to take him to the vets to get him x-rayed. So this is not going to be easy because he's in a lot of pain. But let's try and lift him.
Oh my God, are you a good boy?
Okay. Okay, bye, let's go.
We'll be okay, they help you, okay? If you need help,
Yeah, no problem. We message you probably 1 hour before they do the x-ray. Yeah, sure. The sooner we get him there, the better.
Cross our fingers.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
No problem. We'll see you. We
Good luck,
message you.
Jimmy. Mommy,
Should I get the video first?
really good. You're strong, right?
We're in the back of the car, and as you can see, the only way we could get Jimmy comfortable, he's in a lot of pain, is sitting on my lap. They were very worried. The owner, the woman, was so nice. She was crying her eyes out, and then the husband came along as well. They're so worried about him. They love him, and they were. Oh, he was so sad when we found him he hasn't been able to move, and I'm actually quite worried because if it's just a broken leg or something like that, they can usually, jump and move a little bit around. He's very down. I'm wondering if he's got some sort of internal injuries because he's just so. They said he's not aggressive, but they said they were really surprised that he wasn't biting. So Jimmy, he's sitting on me like a child because it's the only way that I could lift him in. We didn't want to put him in a box. He's just in too much pain. He's like when you lift something like a dead weight, if that makes sense. He just doesn't. He's not even moving 1 centimeter. So he's sitting up, looking out. But Jimmy is in an awful lot of pain. So we're going straight to the vets where they're going to do X-rays. He's older. That they did tell us that he's older. So, but I've never seen a woman more worried about her dog. She's absolutely, as anybody would be. She's frantic and she's crying her eyes out and she's super thankful, and she was asking if it was going to be expensive or anything like that, and I said don't worry, we can pay for it straight on Earth straight, so we can we'll look after all the costs, but the costs are not important right now. The most important is whether Jimmy can live. He looks okay, I know, sitting here, but this is a dog who's not very well at all. He's in a lot of pain, so let's see what the vets can do. Let's hope for a miracle. Just had a big issue in the back of the car. He's bit me, but I was through the towel, so he didn't actually cut the blood. But I don't know what part of his body. He did it himself. He sort of, what's the word? He just sort of put pressure on a part of his body that he didn't like. So he's in an insane amount of pain somewhere. But he's kind of slipped down now into the foothold, where he's have been quite a normal little car ride turned into a very stressful one for him. So we're just trying to get there as quickly as we can, aren't we, Jimmy? Now, we try and save as many dogs as we can, but one thing that would help us massively, you don't know how much it helps, is a subscribe. A simple like or subscribe means the world to us, and it helps us save so many more dogs. So a subscribe would be massively appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, let's go. สวัสดีครับขาหักสวัสดีครับพี่หมอ
Fracture here between circum and lumbar 7.
Now, we've just got back to the land, and I wanted to give you a bit of good news. It's obviously an incredibly hard morning with Jimmy, but regular viewers, people who know my Instagram and different accounts, will know this beautiful dog, Marsbar. Marsbar is actually Snickers' brother. Would you believe it's also traffic related? He has lived up on a sort of a jungle bit for 18 months, about maybe 14 months I've been feeding him. He's the nicest dog ever, but 2 weeks ago, something changed in Marsbar and he started chasing after motorbikes. It's quite a common thing with Thai dogs on the streets. They sometimes think it's a game, so they'll, let's say you drive past on a motorbike with maybe a jangle or something on the bike, they'll chase after the motorbikes, but they kind of nip at the motorbikes and they have bitten people. And unfortunately, Marsbar started doing this, and we got a couple of warnings from some locals. And the warnings, I'll put them up on the screen. A couple of them were in person, but I think we have a couple that were sent as messages were, get this dog out of here or else I will take care of it, basically, was the message that we got. So in the last sort of week, it was getting to the stage where something very bad was going to happen to Marsbar. So the good news, he's come in here and he's going to be adopted. So his little sister Snickers has just gone off to America, but we've brought Marsbar in. I should be happier today, but I'm just kind of struggling mentally with Jimmy because it's such a sad case. But it's a really, really good news for Marsbar because he's going to get a home. He'll get snapped up in no time. He'll get a lovely forever home, won't you? Maybe you were chasing the motorbikes on purpose, were you, so you could get a home? We can laugh about it here, but there'll be a lot of farmers up there, for example, and they'll see somebody like Marsbar running beside them, and they've got like a knife hook for, you know, like cutting down mangoes and stuff, and they'll just slash the dog. And I've seen that happen so many times. Or worse, somebody will hit the dog. I've seen a lot of people swerve and hit the dogs on purpose. I'm not saying that happened to Jimmy. My guess is Jimmy, from the best we can figure out, happened at about 5 a.m. the woman told us, so it's probably dark, half dark. He was probably asleep on the side of the road and the truck drove over. That's a complete guess, but that's the most likely. But Marsbar is coming in and is up for adoption. He's going to get a lovely home. He's healthy. He's got one little problem with his ear, nothing major. And he's not a bad dog. He's the nicest dog ever. I've never seen him have a fight or anything like that. I'm going to go back up and see Jimmy now. I should be, like I said, I should be more happy for Marsbar, but there's a lot of stress going on today. So we're going to go up and see Sybil and Jam and the team. There was a second vet's opinion. We're going to see what's happening with Jimmy. It's not looking good, but let's go up and see how he is. Now I'm just going to go in and see Jimmy to finish the video. If you listen to this, it's really beautiful. He's got his music on, and I'll show you why he's got the music on. I was talking to, or I heard Sybil explaining to Jam that we've given him an awful lot of treatment. And Sybil said to Jam, she said, obviously she was explaining what he needed. He needed his painkillers and his, you know, whatever. We've got him a really big mattress. I never would have thought of this. This is why it's brilliant to have Sybil. He's not going to move for the next couple of days. You know, maybe never. But he has got an air mattress. If you see here, Earth and Soup went out and bought him an air mattress because Sybil has seen these cases before. And if we didn't get that, he would get like bed sores, if you know what I mean. He wouldn't be able to move. he's not able to move at all. And the music is the same. I heard Sybil explaining it. She was saying, listen, it's very important that you come in and talk to him on a regular basis. And that might sound silly to a lot of people, but this is a dog who's very sick. And maybe just hearing the voice lets him know that there's somebody here. He's having a very deep sleep because he was actually, outside on the ground for 4 or 5 hours. Then he was in the vets, etc. Now, being realistic, from talking to Sybil, she thinks that it's quite a low chance that he might walk again. I mean, very low, but and by walk again probably means survive. He's old, he's a little bit heavy, but what she wants to do is keep him like this for 4 or 5 days. What she's seen quite a few times, and I've seen it once or twice, she's shown me, is that the dog can, basically there's a lot of swelling and a lot of bruising and a lot of, bad stuff around his spine. She's seen some occasions where that does go down after 3, 4, 5 days, and we're basically giving him a last chance, I'd say it's quite low percentage, but it's not going to cause him any harm to be here on some really nice strong medicines that the vets have given us, and to also have his music on. He's got his nice climate control, and he's on his air mattress. So Jimmy is just relaxed, and he's in a lot of pain, but we can't really do any more than that for him. So this is, it's a dog's life that's hanging in the balance, and it's a lot of sadness and regret that he got hit by a car. But as I was explaining with Marsbar, we've got Marsbar out of that situation. So Marsbar will go to a forever home. The problem is you can't just go around picking dogs up off the street, and there's hundreds more. We see cases like this nearly every day. The one message that I really winds me up a little bit is they'll say, why don't you put the dog down now? Put the dog to sleep because he's in so much pain and he's never going to walk again. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that hasn't gone through my head, of course. But when you talk to somebody like Sybil, who's got 21 disabled dogs like this, she's brought dogs back from the brink. You sore, mister? You can hear him making little noises. Sybil was saying he's in shock still. So she's brought dogs back from the brink. So we're not going to give up on Jimmy yet. I can't say we're, massively hopeful, but he's going to sit in here, be surrounded by love. Everybody's under instructions if they've got any spare time to come in and eat their lunch and sit with him and talk to him and tell him that he's a very good boy and that we love him and that he might make it, but he also might not. So thanks for watching along. I hope, when we start these videos, me and Earth in the morning, jumping in the car, we hope it's going to be a great outcome. We don't often know what we're going to go and find. He could have got hit at a different angle and it could have been a broken leg, and Jimmy could be in the hospital now getting an operation, but his spine is smashed and he's in big trouble. But we'll keep our fingers crossed and Jimmy won't feel a thing for the next few days, and who knows? Who knows?